Hi, everyone. This is Paul Garrard. I'm founder and president of PGPresents, an independent student loan consulting company. We've put together a series of repayment modules designed to help you guys do a better job of managing your student loans. Module number 10 is on how to postpone payments during your training. Now, your loan servicers will give you ample heads up that it's time for you to make a decision about repayment. In most cases, they'll notify you anywhere from 30 to 60 to perhaps 90 days out from the time that your loans actually come due. So be sure all your contact information is up to date. And when the loans come due, you basically got two options. You can postpone payments, which is what this module is about, or you can actually go ahead and select a repayment plan, a time-driven plan, or an income-driven repayment plan, and we have modules on those, as you know. We're going to take a look at your postponement options in this module. Now, there are two ways to postpone payments on federal loans, a deferment and a forbearance. And we've highlighted forbearance because we think you're going to see if you need to or want to postpone payments during your residency program, it is likely going to be with a forbearance. But once again, we're talking about federal loans like direct unsubsidized, direct plus, and direct consolidation loans. If you have any campus-based loans or private loans, check the disclosure statement, your promissory note, or contact your lender regarding any kind of postponement options on campus-based loans or private loans. Now, the first option for postponement is a deferment, and the main difference between a deferment and a forbearance is that if you qualify for a deferment and you have any subsidized loans, those loans will be interest-free to you as a borrower during the deferment period. But take a look at the student loans in your portfolio. Most of you have direct unsubsidized loans, and many of you have direct plus loans, and those are both unsubsidized loans. So getting a deferment doesn't help you as compared to a forbearance. Deferments are harder to get. You have to meet certain eligibility requirements. There are a number of deferment options available at studentaid.gov. You'll see a listing, and you can also contact your loan servicer if you are interested in applying for a deferment. We need you to understand, though, in all likelihood, if you need to postpone payments during your residency program, it is highly unlikely it will be with a deferment. It's more likely going to be with a forbearance, which we will talk about on the next slide. There is, however, one deferment you might qualify for if you do a fellowship program after your residency training. There's something that's actually called a graduate fellowship deferment, and that's been around for years, and there have been no changes to that. So if you want to postpone payments and you are doing a fellowship, you might want to contact your loan servicer about applying for a graduate fellowship deferment. Now, the second way to postpone payments on federal loans is with a forbearance. And the big difference between a deferment and a forbearance is that during a period of forbearance, interest accrues on all of your loans, including any subsidized loans you may have had in college. But once again, look at your student loan portfolio. In all likelihood, if you have any subsidized loans, it's a small portion compared to your total balance, and many of you only have unsubsidized loans. So that's a simple way of saying the distinction between a deferment and a forbearance for many medical school graduates is really quite small. There are two main types of forbearance to be aware of: mandatory and what's called discretionary. If as a medical resident or intern, you either want to postpone payments or you need to postpone payments, you can do this with what's called a mandatory forbearance for medical interns and residents. You can use it at any time in residency, even after you started making payments. You might start making payments and then decide that you need to take a break. Use a mandatory forbearance for medical interns and residents. They are good for up to 12 months at a time, but once again, you can use this forbearance all the way through your residency program. You can also make voluntary payments during your forbearance if you want to. But for many medical residents who want to postpone payments or need to, this is how they do it: a mandatory forbearance for medical interns and residents. There's also something called a discretionary or administrative forbearance. This is really at the discretion of the loan servicer. Sometimes this is used for borrowers who are graduating and have loans from college or a post-bac program that are coming due immediately because they've already used up their 6-month grace period on those prior loans, but they still have a 6-month grace period on their loans from medical school, and they don't want loans coming due at different times. You can request what's called an alignment forbearance. That's the nickname for it, to help align the repayment start date for any undergrad loans coming due immediately with the due date of loans from medical school. Please note again, with forbearance, you are considered to be in good standing and your credit is protected. Now, some comments as we wrap up this module on postponing payments on federal loans. You may actually need to postpone payments on your federal loans if you have some more costly obligations pressing you, like consumer debt and/or private loans that you took out from college. Perhaps you have a private loan from college and your lender allowed you to postpone payments during medical school, but now those loans are coming due. So if you're in a situation where you need to postpone payments, there are options to do so. But don't postpone due to procrastination. Remember, your loan servicers are going to give you ample heads up that it's time to select a repayment plan. So don't postpone just because you never got around to applying for a repayment plan. Consider making voluntary payments on your most expensive loan during postponement periods if you want to. That's a great way to aggressively pay down your student loans. Just remember, a voluntary payment during a period of deferment or more likely forbearance does not count toward eligibility for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. Be sure there are no gaps between periods of postponement. Remember, you have to renew a deferment or forbearance every 12 months. If there are gaps, then you're going to find that the interest is going to capitalize, and that can be a problem for you, for some of you, with your levels of debt. See studentaid.gov for more information, or your loan servicer's website on your options for deferment and forbearance. This is the end of module number 10.